It feels like the main event, obviously, Sean and Marab is a fight that everyone, they're excited for. But it feels like this co-main event has been what has been building this card, especially, whenever you and Kayla are on screen together, it kind of just generates conversation and click. So have you felt like you specifically have been carrying the promotion for this fight card? And do you feel that your fight has kind of taken some of the spotlight away from the main event?
No, I believe that when you work so hard, and I've been fighting for the promotion since 2013, when you work so hard to get to climb the mountain to UFC gold and you're finally at the top of the heap, this is what comes with that territory. I have an opportunity, I have an obligation as a UFC champion to promote my fight and to get people interested in watching me fight. And these are the opportunities that I was fighting so hard for. So for me, it's something that comes very naturally for me because this is what I've been building towards in my career my entire life.
Obviously, you're not you're used to people talking before, but I feel like every interview I've seen you do, it's always, let me read some quotes that Juliana said about you. So has this been more of an annoying build up because it's never about the fight, it's always about what Juliana's been saying.
No, I mean, I think that that's part of the business, and Juliana doesn't excel at fighting, so she has to excel at the other piece of it. And it's not personal to me, she's just doing her job.
Was that a hard part to, like, when you first got into MMA? Because like in the Olympics, it's a tournament. Like, no matter how much you talk.
Yeah, and not only that, it's like a Japanese sport, so it's like the most respectful sport in the Olympics.
So you say it's not personal, but it seems like the fans are very much behind you. Have you kind of felt that?
I have, yeah, I have, and I'm so grateful for it. I feel like Juliana is the perfect villain to, I guess, make me a hero in people's eyes. I think before everyone's like, oh, I don't know if it's my dominance. I don't know if it's because I am so like physically strong looking, but I feel like a lot of, or maybe because I um, haven't been in the UFC for very long, but I feel like a lot of people weren't too keen on me. And now all of a sudden it's like I'm America's sweetheart and I'm just going to take it and run with it.
Obviously, even when she was in PFL, people have been asking for Kayla to, come to the UFC and fight for the title right away. A lot of people thought it'd maybe be Amanda. Some thought it would be you, but it is you. You're the one that gets to challenge Kayla Harrison in her first 5-round fight in the UFC. So I guess, what do you make of her as an opponent? And I guess just the interest from the fans and wanting to see her fight for the title for so long.
I think that the UFC is the greatest promotion that there ever was, and they do a really good job of creating the best fights possible and making sure that the fans get what they want. And this was a fight that the fans wanted, and it was the biggest fight in the division. And it makes a lot of sense that even though she only had 2 fights in the UFC, that she was able to come in and get a title shot based off of her being the 2-time champion and the accolades that she possesses. So it makes sense, and I'm obviously happy once I found out that it was not going to be Amanda after my win against Raquel. I moved on to the next greatest thing since sliced bread, and that was Kayla Harrison. So I welcomed the challenge.
And you kind of said it, like, Julia's not good at fighting, so she has to sell a fight. And we've heard that before, but yet she keeps winning. So I guess,
Uh-huh.
what is it about Juliana's style that gives people problems?
I mean, I think she's got heart, she's a fighter. And at the end of the day, that's probably one of the most important qualities you can have is that heart and that grit. Um, she's unorthodox. You don't really know what is coming. I think it's probably a tough style to emulate in training. She's unorthodox, and I think that she has this like, yeah, I just believe I'm better everywhere. I think that I'm bigger, faster, stronger. I think that I've got more positive experience. I think that my grappling's better, my striking's better. I think that my fight IQ is higher, and like, never mind being inside of a cage. Like, I'm a fighter in life, and so if she thinks that she's gonna like outfight me, she's got another thing coming.
And just last one for me. Kayla said the only chance that you had to win is to turn this into a brawl. So I guess, how do you see this fight actually playing out on Saturday?
Well, if she said it's going to be a brawl, then I guess I'll give her what she wants. No, I see the fight playing out with me getting my hand raised. I don't know how, I don't know when. I just know that I am very dangerous everywhere. I have multiple avenues to win this fight. I can win off of my back, I can win off of the cage, and I can win off of my feet. And having multiple avenues and multiple paths to victory is what makes me more dangerous, whereas she has only one shot to beat me, which is laying on top of me for 25 minutes.
Well, you know, the countdown, they did this, the part where she brought in Max Snyder to train with her. Is that just the countdown kind of like latching on to something, or is that something that, like, smart thing she's training with him?
I mean, do you think that you could learn to paint like Picasso in 6 weeks or 8 weeks or 12 weeks?
No.
Do you think that you could be Scorsese in 12? Like, good luck. You know, I applaud her for leaving no stone unturned, but I've been doing judo since I was 6 years old. Like, that's not something you can pick up overnight.
Juliana over here, you know, you just mentioned that you like having an opponent that banters with you a little bit. She was in here a few minutes ago and she said that she was pretty unbothered by your trash talk, that you were just throwing spaghetti against the wall and that you had to overcompensate for your fighting skills with mic skills. Do you think this is having an effect on her at all? Or do you think that her being like an Olympic level athlete with her mentality, like that it's not having an effect on her like some of your other opponents?
I am not trash talking. I'm simply defending myself. This all started before I even knew who Kayla Harrison was. When I beat Amanda Nunes, I saw this blonde girl sitting cage side, freaking out, cussing and having all sorts of obscenities to say about me for beating Amanda Nunes and throwing a gigantic wrench in her plans. So she's been trash talking me for a long time, long before I even knew who she was. And then it created more of a problem for me when she said that it was going to be the media's fault. It was going to be the media's fault for having blood. They were going to have blood on their hands for you guys giving me the delusion to think that I could hang with her and stand across the octagon from her. Then her agent had made a comment that she was going to win by murder and that she was going to catch some murder charges because she was going to murder me. These are the things, me talking back, is my way of defending myself. And I believe that, you know, she can say that it's trash talk, but it's like, I'm just responding to the things and the allegations and these horrendous comments that she has made about me. She needs to take accountability for the things that she said, and it's my job to make her do that on Saturday night.
Juliana's actually been very confident in her pre-fight talk. Do you think that's genuine self-belief, or is she just trying to get in your head?
I mean, I think she's got to do what she's got to do to pump herself up for this fight, you know? Like, she's throwing a lot of spaghetti at the wall. She's all over the place, so God bless her.
Juliana, you've been really vocal about your confidence going into this fight. What gives you that strong belief that you're going to come up on top?
Well, the last time you guys counted me out, you guys had to take it up the you-know-what. So I think that's one of the things. And I think that the preparation, and I've been doing this for a long time. I've been fighting since 2008. And when you put that much blood, sweat, and tears into something and you're that dedicated and that passionate, there's only good things that can happen. And I think that that's what gives me the confidence.
Right over here. I remember last fight week in Salt Lake City, Juliana was speaking about the way that Raquel would have actually represented this division. And being the fact that you're the challenger this week, what do you feel, or how do you feel about the way that Juliana represents this division?
I feel nothing. I focus on myself. I focus on how I carry myself, what I can do. I try not to throw stones from a glass house. Nobody's perfect. We're all doing the best we can, but there's going to be a new face of women's MMA very soon.
Yeah. Also, Kayla just said you don't excel in fighting, but also said this isn't personal. Do you believe it's personal?
I'm getting locked into a steel cage and getting in a fist fight with some girl that's trying to take my head off of my shoulders. It's absolutely personal.
Thank you.
Juliana, right over here. You were recently on UFC Live with Kayla, and you reminded her that she had never made 135.0. Is that at all a concern for you this week?
It's not a concern. I know that she's going to make weight. She's a professional and she's going to come in at 135.0 come hell or high water. With that being said, this is going to be her first test at 135 pounds for 5 rounds. That's 25 minutes of fighting. So I think that's going to be more of the concern.
And speaking about the trash talk, I know we've been talking about that kind of all day now, but for you, there was a lot of trash talk that you had to get through to get to the actual fight. Do you think this may have been the most trash talk you ever had to deal with, and how did it kind of affect you throughout the past couple weeks or months?
I mean, I think hands down, this is the most trash talk. I mean, I don't need, like, the talk itself is trashy. I don't know if it's good trash talk, but it's trashy. This is the most I've ever had to endure. Yeah. It's the worst trash talk I've ever had to endure, too. I'll tell you what. Like, if you, being a female, being in a male dominant sport, like going to American Top Team, you think I don't hear shit all day, every day? I walk into the gym and they're starting to, so like but this is just poorly done. And I'm ready to fight. I'm done talking about it. I'm ready to fight.
And also on that episode, you had mentioned some of the lack of respect that you feel like you get. Do you think a victory over Kayla Harrison, given the way that people see her right now, do you think that would earn you a lot of the respect that you feel like is missing?
I mean, I hope so. We'll see. I can't say. I thought that, beating the greatest of all time was going to give me that respect, and it didn't. So you never know. I say this often, but it's so true. It's never enough. So, it doesn't matter what you do. It's never enough. Everybody's always going to want more from you.
And last for me, I'm not sure how much this really matters to you, but when you get the job done on Saturday night, that would be 3 fights into your UFC career before you become, or when you become UFC champion. How does that sit with you? Because that's pretty remarkable itself.
Yeah, it's pretty damn good, I think it's 3 fights in the UFC, but this is a lifetime in the making. I've been on the mat since I was 6 years old. I have been doing 2-a-days since I was 12 years old. Like, that's 20 some years of training twice a day, every day, with the pursuit and the goal of being the best possible version of myself in mind. So it might only be 3 fights in the UFC, but this has been a lifelong journey, and I'm really excited.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks.
And last for me, another quote from you was that you had nothing to lose and everything to gain in this fight. Can you just kind of reiterate that and tell us, how you feel with this matchup?
Yeah, I was told to me that I'm a 6-1 underdog, and being a 6-1 underdog as a champion is very disrespectful. Number one. Number two, everybody's counting me out. Out of 6 people, only one of them thinks that I'm going to win the fight, and that is putting me in a position where, since you think I'm going to lose in 5 seconds, and you think that I'm already out of this fight, then I have nothing to lose and everything to gain. I'm obsessed with the process, not so much concerned about the outcome. I'm enjoying the process and obsessed with enjoying the process. And when you put so much focus, she is in a position where she has to and she should and you better, and it's already done. And so those are the kinds of limits that she's putting on herself of you should and you can and you will and you're going to, and it's already finished and it's already happened. The reality is that when you put that much pressure on yourself, and when you're so focused on you have to beat her in 10 seconds and it doesn't happen, that can kind of play into your mentality and the way that you fight, whereas everybody's already counting me out. So when you put me in a position of nothing to lose and everything to gain, that makes me a very dangerous woman.
And I think a lot of like the analysis, I guess, of this fight is like, will the recovery for you be going into fight night, and you'll be a force early in that fight. Julianna's tough. How does it go if it goes into the 4th or 5th rounds of a hard fight? What's your thoughts on, I guess, that analysis?
I mean, I would say that they obviously haven't been training with me at American Top Team. I am prepared for 25 hard minutes. We've been training, and I haven't been training with any slouches. I've been being shark baited like a fresh partner every round for 5 rounds when I'm sparring. So I'm ready. I'm ready to show the world that.
Just going off that, Juliana, as you kind of say, it seems like the goalposts always get moved further back for you, right? So what do you think the headlines will read Sunday morning when you win this fight? Do you think they're going to give you your credit, or are they going to say Kayla Harrison wasn't that good and she's a PFL fighter and things like that?
I think that it'll put me on another planet.